Is the end of Etsy going to be in 2025? Because there's been so many changes and there's so many sellers that are jumping ship. There's so many sellers that are panicking. What are we going to do? Are we going to ride out the storm? Is there actually good news because this is happening? I I think there could be, but there are some things that if we look at it in a different light, we probably see more opportunity than negativity. So I'm going to cover those here today. All right. So, yes, it is going to be harder. I'm going to be straight up with you. It is going to be harder if, and there's a big if, okay? If you are just following the what we call throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks method. If you are using that as your strategy. And what that basically means is you're like, oh, it's the election right now. Let me just sell each candidate and let's just sell flags. Let's sell mugs. Let's do that. That to me is jumping on a trend that's going to be here. It's going to be gone. Fine. Go for it. But after that, you're done, right? You're not going to be able to do all of the things that we talk about here and that I'm going to be sharing with you that is going to allow you to have a sustainable business. All right. So if that is the case, going to be hard for you. It's going to be harder for you. Okay. Because it's changed. There's a lot that's changed. Some good, some not so good. All right. But the not so good is just things that they're trying to improve to make it a better platform. All right. So, number one, brands are going to be rewarded. Brands are going to be rewarded. What do I mean by this? And we actually heard this from Josh Silverman himself, the CEO of Etsy. We also heard it from some of the head of Etsy say this, and they're already saying it, right? We're going to make Etsy human again, right? For commerce. Okay, great. What are they wanting to do? Get people to come back to Etsy. And why would people want to come back to Etsy? Well, they had a great experience, but if you build a brand and they know they got a great product from you before, they're going to want to come back. That's building a brand. It's building a brand of products that someone could buy today. They could buy another one in a year from now or 6 months from now, but they could also come back and buy more than one thing. Okay. Perfect example. It's fall time here, and my wife has the little melting pot, right? You put the little wax thing in there, you turn it on, it gets warm, and it smells like baked cookies, right? Well, there's this one fragrance that we all love. My daughter came out the other day. It's called like Christmas tree melt or something, right? It's got pine needles in it and stuff. And I was like, wow, that smells so good. And I went and I looked, who's the brand? And then I also started seeing, oh, they got a peach one. They've got a pumpkin pie one. They've got this, they've got that, right? So every time we're going to need melts now, guess where we're going? To that brand because we know it and we like it and we enjoy it. And they also have a pretty cool story. All right. So that's just a small example. If you're selling wax melts, right, and you have a story behind the brand, people are going to want to come back to you, especially if you have a good product, but also if you have good customer service, which we're going to get to. So building a brand is really, really important, and it's going to allow you to be able to rise above the competition, and you're going to be able to get more orders from the same customer. And you're also going to be able to use some of the tools that Etsy has rolled out. One of them being where you can now bundle products together, meaning you come in there with, I go in there to look at one of those different scents of that wax melt. And then I see there's two other ones that I can add that are linked together that I can just click one button and it adds it to my cart. Okay. And it makes a nice little bundle. That's now a feature that wasn't there, 6 months ago. It's there now. But the only way you're going to really be able to utilize that effectively is if you have products that go well together. All right. So hopefully I made my point clear there. Brands are going to be rewarded. Number two, competition is going to be higher. Yes, it is. But this also means that it's a way for us to stand out by doing some of these other things, which I'm going to share with you. So I'm just acknowledging, yes, competition is going to be higher, but the competition might not even really matter because it's not really competition because we're not competing head to head, right? They're just throwing spaghetti at the wall. I'm not. Big difference. All right. Number three, ranking your listings will be harder. True. This is where we need to not be just kind of relying on, well, I put up a product, Etsy's going to show me. No, now we have to get a little bit more skilled at marketing. This is one thing that I think a lot of Etsy sellers, they don't think of themselves as like a marketer. You are a marketer. If you own a business and if you're selling on Etsy, it's pretty much a business. Uh, you need to understand how to market. You need to know how to get people into your shop. You need to know how to convert people. You need to know how to get people to buy more. That's all part of it, right? And the people that do that, even just a little bit, are going to stand way above that competition, and they're going to be able to rank higher, right? Because they're doing all the things that Etsy wants you to do, and you're getting sales and you're converting higher. All of the things that Etsy's going to look for. All right. So the things that I'm looking at here for, is ranking going to be harder? Yes. But the things that we can do right off the bat is we can work on our conversions to get them higher. All right. We've talked about that here before on this channel. If we increase our conversions, that means if we can increase, someone comes in and then let's just say 100 people come in, we convert at 1%, that's one person. We get 100 people to come in, we convert at 2%, that's two people. 3%, that's three people, right? If we do that, Etsy notices that. And then that's going to bump us in the rankings. How can we do that if we don't get any traffic? Well, we have to get our own traffic. How can we do that? We can pay Etsy. We can say, hey, Etsy, here's some money. Can you run Etsy ads for me? Sure, right? And it's super simple. So between those two, Etsy ads and getting your conversions dialed in, that's going to help you compete in the ranking moving into 2025 and beyond. Okay. Now, if you want to learn more about conversions and how to convert higher, I've been obsessed with this because I know how important it is. And I actually went through and put together 25 high converting listings, over 3%. And I dissected them. And I basically compared from one to the other and to my own. And I basically put it into a playbook, what I'm now calling our conversion maximizer playbook. If you'd like a copy of that, in the comments, just put conversions. All right. Just put conversions in the comments and I will send you a link to that. Now, there is a cost to that. I'm charging $10. I had a professional designer put this together to make it even more user-friendly than just for myself. All right. So again, if you just want to $10, you can have a copy of that. So just, if you want it, just put conversions in the comments and I'll send you a copy. All right. Or I'll send you the link to get a copy. Okay. The fourth thing is, and I kind of touched on this, good marketing is going to be needed. And another piece of the marketing is email. And so many people are not using email. Email marketing is so underutilized because, well, let's just be honest. When someone starts on Etsy, they're not thinking to themselves, I'm going to build a business. I'm going to learn marketing. I'm going to learn all this stuff. It's not in the thought. And I get it, right? A lot of people that come into Etsy, they're artists, or they're people that are creative, or they're people that just say, I just want to go on there and try to make some easy money. Okay. The easy money thing, not going to happen. Okay. It's just not going to happen. You are going to have to learn how to build a business and how to market your business. All right. So email is a huge critical piece. It's something I've been focusing on for the last 15 plus years, built multiple 6 and 7 figures on the back of email and using that as the lifeblood. And we all know that Etsy rolled out their share and save, their link that they give us now, that we can track people through our link. Well, using email, we can do that. We've actually generated over $10,000 since they've rolled that out just through email. And in the last 45 days, over $1,600 using very, very simple, short emails. All right. So that's something that I think people need to start embracing and start learning and start building their own email list. We actually have an email playbook. It's free. If you want a copy of that, just put email in the comments and we'll send you a copy of that. And it kind of walks you through our strategy. All right. The fifth and final thing that I'm going to share with you here today that you can do better than everyone else moving forward in 2025. And that is customer service. They said it point blank. They're like, listen, customer service, we are going to be paying attention to that. And if you do a good job with that and customers are happy, we're going to reward you. So what does that look like? When people message you, get right back to them. If people have a problem with an order, don't fight them with it. Okay. I'll tell you right now, one negative review is going to cost you potentially hundreds, if not thousands of future orders. Okay. So if someone has a problem And you're like, well, that's going to be all my profit if I give them a refund. And who cares? Okay. The 10 or $20 in profit, you're going to lose $1,000 in profit over here because you got that negative review that says you didn't take care of it or you were just really difficult to work with. So you have to overlook that sometimes. All right. I just actually was talking to my wife about this just the other day. And she said, what should I do here? I go, just send them their money back. Right. Just send their money back and say, I apologize. We'll send you a new one. That's it. Done. Okay. So customer service is going to be more important than ever. And is something that I would definitely want you to embrace. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, you know, I just don't know that I'm going to be able to meet all of these, all of these new things. They're really not that difficult. They're really not. And I just gave you some free resources. Like I said, the email guide, that'll walk you through that. Okay. The Etsy ads guide. I don't know if I mentioned that one or not, but if you want a copy of that, we have a guide for that as well. It's free. Just put in ads in the comments and we'll send you a copy of that. This stuff is so important. It's not hard. Okay. It does take a little bit of learning, a little bit of implementation, but it is completely doable. And I really do believe if you embrace this as a business and start learning how to market your business, you'll have a really good shot at being successful on Etsy in 2025.